Kush's movie review.
This week's movie review is Twisters, a movie about some 1960s dance halls where one guy created a new trend of twist and shouting. And so it's like, hey, there's just a gang, and they were the best at the twist. And so they were called the Twisters, and they would walk in and start twisting all over the place. The end. It's the best I could do. I last minute thought of that. Don't
It's
think that's
okay.
really what this movie's about, but I'm
Might be a
sure
better movie.
it's has something to do with all the other movies that were called Twister or Twisters and Twisting. About, I'm sure it involves some dumbasses in a car driving in the wrong direction towards tornadoes.
Chris. Yeah, we are talking about Twisters, plural. Um, it's a PG-13 movie. It is 2 hours and 2 minutes, and despite what Universal Pictures and Warner Brothers Studios would like to tell you, it's not really. They say it's not related to the first one. However, I'm here to say it's the same goddamn movie. So some things have been switched over here and switched over there and did this and they did that. And you know what? The previous movie from 1996 was okay. The movie in 2024 also okay. Like I had a good time. I'm hearing the best reviews of this movie are coming out of the 4DX experience. That's a very limited subscription, by the way. So if you want to see something in 4DX, apparently you need to see Twisters. Um, last the last 4DX movie I saw was Godzilla minus one, and that thing was so violent. Wasn't disrupting to me, however, but my drink, I didn't have a very full drink, but this much drink, half of it spilled on the floor. And I was just like, all right, I guess whatever. But that was the enjoyable experience. Otherwise, like I went to, I believe I reported here about Jason Statham's The Beekeeper, and I was
Ah,
like, yeah,
yes.
man. At one point,
Jason
uh,
Statham.
Jason Statham like fakes is gonna punch the guy, but he didn't punch the guy, but the whole seat's just buckled anyways. And I was like, that's fucking stupid. So it, apparently, this was a very good one to see in 4DX. However, I saw it in RPX, which is the real cinema's equivalent of IMAX. It's fine. Again, it's Twister from 1996. Some details have been changed. Some characters have been moved around. The guys that are grungy, that were the heroes in the first movie, they're now kind of the villains, but then they're not. It's 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 nothing special. Made double its budget this weekend, or
Ooh,
double
that's
its expectations, I should say.
oh.
People thought it was going to make like 40 million this weekend, nationally. I don't know what it did worldwide. Made $83 million this weekend. That's a big
Oh,
goddamn deal. Just
that's
to let you know.
it's nothing to shake a stick at, as they say.
Yep. So I had a good time. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I did want to go back and see Twister singular from 1996 before this review, and I didn't, and I don't feel bad about it. So I would have loved to have done a comparison, but that's not going to happen. So, anyways, it's the same goddamn movie from 1996. Some things have been changed. The actors are good. Again, this is directed by Lee Isaac Chung. If you're wondering if that name is familiar, not many of you are going to think that name is familiar. He did he did Academy Award winning and nominated movie Minari from I believe it was 2019. I might be wrong about that. It's a very good movie, by the way. It's very small, very independent. So the fact that he's doing this huge blockbuster, it happens, but it's amazing he pulled it off. Good for him. This is written by Mark L. Smith. He's responsible for it was supposed to be a Cloverfield movie. It would end up just being just called Overlord. Again, it's zombie Nazis and Americans have to kill them. Great times. Overlord is a fantastic film. No one saw it, but again, it was a very limited thing, very small movie, etc., etc. The Revenant, Academy Award winning The Revenant, where Leonardo DiCaprio gets raped by a bear. He also did that, and then Joseph Kaczynski had a part in this. He did Top Gun Part 2, directed, written. I don't know why he's credited with this as a written as a writer, but then again, we have to, despite Universal and Warner Bros. Going like, this is actually a completely unrelated movie. Michael Crichton and a woman named Anne Maurice Martin. I'm sorry, babe, I can't read my own handwriting. They're still credited with the first movie. So this is obviously a remake. You can call it a reboot. It's definitely
But
not
don't
a
call it a
sequel.
comeback.
Don't call it a comeback by any means. And
Been
then
here for
again,
years.
starring Miss Daisy Edgar Jones. I don't know anything she's ever been in. Glenn Powell. We mentioned Top Gun 2 just a minute ago. He's also been in Hit Man, which we reviewed, and then Anything But You, which we didn't review, but I was like, yeah, this is actually a fun movie. This fun date movie. It's on Netflix now. I believe they're both on the Netflix. And then Anthony Ramos, who was in the last Transformers movie. So plenty of two people I know that are very intelligent, but for whatever reason they decide to be stupid and go like, Transformers boy is in this. And I was like, he's actually in the original Hamilton play, the Disney Plus presentation also, but he was in the actual goddamn play. I've not seen either of them. He's been in The Heights. He's been in a bunch of things, and I'm very annoyed
So
that
he's an
people are just calling
actor.
him.
He's a very
He's an actor.
he's an actor.
Yes, Mike Fish, you are correct. He is an actor, and I'm annoyed that people are just like calling Transformers boy.
It's a terrible nickname.
Very terrible nickname. And then yeah, whenever I go to see any of these movies that I review for you, Mike Fish, I do a thing on Facebook. It goes out to Instagram. It goes out to Twitter/X. And I'm like, hey, here are these foreign movie posters of the movie I'm going to see. And goddamn, someone was just like, so Anthony Ramos is Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton's son. I was like, what? Again, referring to the first movie from 1996. Thinking
Right.
it's a sequel. That's an honest thing. That's an honest thing. But I was like, what? At first, I wanted to go like, no, neither of those actors are Puerto Rican. Anthony Ramos is Puerto Rican. You can't say that though on Facebook, unfortunately. However, you can go like, do you really think that Anthony Ramos, quote unquote, who plays the character Javi, short for Javier, is the love child of Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt? If you don't know who any of those actors are, Google them and you'll be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Of course, Javi is Anthony Ramos is not the love child of either of those two actors. So, anyways, the closest thing that distinguishes the two movies is there's a hurricane in Oklahoma, and at the beginning of the movie, they actually used the technology that was modern for the 1996 movie, and then they don't bring it up ever again at all. Several folks have talked to me like, well, I think Helen Hunt was supposed to be in this movie, who was supposed to play Daisy Edgar Jones's mom, But then they didn't get her. I was like, well, that makes her not a part of this movie, and that makes it not a part of a lineage, and that makes it a whole new movie. So we could just call this a reboot and a remake and a whatever. Again, this movie made double what its expectations were. It's entertaining. It's not great. It's not terrible by any means. But I, under no circumstances, want to see it again. I saw it on the biggest screen I could see it without it fucking making me motion sickness. And again, I had a good time. It's Twisters. It's PG-13. 2 hours, 2 minutes. Didn't actually feel a minute of it. So again,
you're
I
not
can
a
only
single
give it,
minute.
this is the second time in 2 weeks that I've said, like, yeah, we didn't need to cut a minute from this. It was fine. Anyways, 3 out of 5. I would like to give it more, but 3 out of 5. No one wants to see this on HBO Max. You want to see this on a big screen. You want to see this in a theater with other people. Maybe the 4DX is great. I've only heard great things about that experience. But you're gonna be shaking a lot.
Just don't buy any expensive alcoholic drinks if you want to keep them in your hand.
Dude, seriously. And don't sneak in any alcoholics in, because that shit will still spill on the floor. It's awful.
Disgraceful behavior. So there you go. Twisters. 3 out of 5. Check it out on a big screen if you want. Or don't. Use your own free
If you
will.
don't see it on the big screen, you're not gonna see it.
Facts.
Or you shouldn't see it.
Just the facts, ma'am.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny!